What is up, everybody? It's me, Duke Farley, back at it again here on Lost at Sea. And I am here with Scott. We are the Descendants, and we are talking a little Ascendance Live. I think it's episode 6 we're chatting about. But before we get into it, Scott, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. I had another adventurous weekend. I went to the Penn State whiteout game
Oh
against
my God.
Oregon. Yeah, we Penn
Damn.
State lost.
Good game, though. Didn't it go
And
to
I was so
overtime?
drunk that I didn't know that they lost until someone told me the day after.
Oh, jeez.
So
Damn. You missed a good
that's
game.
why I'm wearing black to mourn the loss of the Penn State team that I went to see.
Okay. Okay. We are. Did you chant that?
Absolutely.
Nice. Nice. Um, Scott, once we left, the episode 5, we were talking about how fun it was to watch Jack be not in the mix, not being the one that's got his name thrown out there. But kind of a tough episode
The
here.
cool, calm, collected, comforting others. What a turn one episode can make. And I think someone commented in the episode, and it made me wonder as well, was this the end of the day? I don't know if you
It's a,
remember.
it's a good question. I want to say no. I want to say it was the middle of the second day, but I could be very
I'm
wrong.
just I'm just imagining what it was like to watch Jack leave and then be like, all right, next round. Because there was a lot. We talk about the tears and we've like joked about it, but I have never seen anything like that.
I gotta say, Scott, I think this might have been a record setter.
It's going down in history. And we haven't really seen too many tears. They were saving it for us
They're saving it for
for what we
episode
witnessed
6.
yesterday. What?
They were saving it for episode 6, I think.
Yeah, I a testament to the relationships. I know that Jack sort of leaned into talking about how he didn't have the social game that he wanted, etc. But I mean, you got to have somewhat of a social game for people to be this upset to see you go. So I think
Ye-
that he could be a little bit more confident about the ties that he had made.
Yeah, it seemed like throughout the strategy portion that people were very, very sad to see him go. Sad to have to vote him out. But my question to you, Scott, is why did it have to be Jack?
Well, there are so few options. I think Lee was the one that said, "Why are we crying about Jack? And we could just do Maddie." There was only, I mean, we've seen it week after week. Alex is not wanting to vote off a girl. So there was only five options, I think. Three of them were the girls. So then
Yeah.
we were just left with those two options. And it's been pretty apparent that Maddie's pretty sitting pretty well in the game. For me, I feel like we take out Maddie. He can't use his power. He made that known. He told everyone he couldn't use it. Let's take him out.
Do you think it was a misstep for some of these players to not take out Matty, knowing that he couldn't use his pendant?
I think that a lot of people are gonna look back to this round and regret it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Maddie's sitting pretty well, and I think Maddie is a front runner as far as what I can tell. And I think that these next few rounds, if he continues to make it through, people are gonna be like, we should have taken the shot. And I think that just episode after episode, we've talked about it as well. People are just kind of sitting back still and letting the game kind of just fall as it just everything's just kind of happening and no one's really making a big push to change it unless they're in danger. They're trying to make a shift and it's not working. I think that of all around so far, this is going to be the one that people look back and think we should have made it. There wasn't that many people voting, so you could have made a move. And yeah, I think we might see some people regretting this decision to vote off the seemingly easier vote of Jack and letting Maddie stay in the game, especially with the power. Whoever he uses his power and takes out, I think they'll be thinking about this round.
Um, it was an interesting we see Alex win captain. as well as Reynolds. In the kind of it was a very social, social dynamic like breakdown of a captain's challenge. Um,
I think that that was what happened in that challenge is just essentially a metaphor for what's going on in this game. People are they there was like six people left, I feel like. And they were like, all right, who should we give this to?
yeah, it seemed like there was no sense of urgency. Nobody wanted to step on any toes. What do you make of that?
That's just the way that this game is going. It's been round after round. The people that they wanted to take out got knocked out first. There's not that many of them for them to make a big splash to change it. Someone is gonna someone's gonna realize that they're on the bottom and realize that it's too late for them. And I personally am ready for like a big shakeup. I think that maybe an individual whenever it becomes an individual game, it might shift some of the gameplay that people are doing. But I think a lot of people are sitting in spots where they know that they don't need to make any waves, and so they're just kind of waiting for that next point in the game. So it makes me a little bit nervous for Sam and Stevie in these next couple rounds because I feel like they're kind of the last two people that are sitting on the outs. So I think that if we don't see a shakeup, we might just see those two go, depending on who wins. I mean, maybe Stevie will never be able to get voted off, but they're just kind of sitting back, and the captain challenge is just this is the game we're playing right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was thinking in real time that we might see some drama, maybe some more feuds being made, but it seems like the only people that really even talked about targeting certain people in this challenge was when Jack went after Reynolds, and then Reynolds quickly eliminated Jack, and he also did the same to Sam. So, um, kind of fell flat. I feel like the challenge did.
yeah, maybe if I don't know how you would do it so that could be a little bit more anonymous on who you were taking out, but being that it was so visible, people aren't gonna, if you're gonna make a move whenever the game is this steady, you don't want it to be a move where you're just winning a challenge. You can't take the shot and not take them out, I think. So, I mean, I feel like season four Survivor with the chops, whenever they were like, oh, there are the lines. No one's going to make that mistake again, especially people that are playing Ascendance. You know, they're obviously big fans of reality TV and know the game in and out. It's a little tougher to fall to that. If it was sides, then it comes down to how fast people can run, but the game's still so fluid.
Yeah, maybe this is a challenge that we save till later in the season when there's more definitive lines.
Everyone hates each other.
Yeah. Yeah. When everyone
Everyone's
hates
being
each
too
other.
kind still.
Right. Um, Alex wins the first position. And he's safe for the first time in the game. Well, not the first time in the game, but this is his first captain win. What did you think of Alex's picks for captain? He chooses like you said, all the women, and then he takes Maddie and Alex. I thought it was kind of crazy.
Maddie and Jack. I think
Maddie and
it
Jack, yep.
wouldn't be great if he was really trying to protect that crew. If he was like, "We're gonna win. I'm gonna protect my people by putting them all on a team together," and that backfired. I think that
That never works.
no, it's what is it? Is it Marvin's Law? Whose law is it? Murphy's Law. I don't know who's Marvin. Murphy's Law. If something's gonna go wrong, if something could go wrong, it will. And I think that that is what happened here. He watched it implode, and I mean, we can jump into the challenge. They went into it feeling really confident, it seemed, and it just it didn't pan out for them. I think every one of them kind of hit a little hiccup, and they just couldn't recover.
I mean, a little hiccup, I think, is putting it lightly, Scott. I mean, I don't, Antoinette, I think throw with the other hand. Throw with the other hand, maybe.
It wasn't good. And like I don't think I mean maybe no one else stepped up to do that. And so maybe she's kind of got stuck with it, but yeah, it was. a little tough to watch. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. It was a tough one to watch. I fast forwarded
Tough.
through that one on the rewatch. I can't watch it again.
Too much, too much. Yeah, no, but it does come down to the in Survivor, it's always the great equalizer, the final puzzle. And Jack just can't come through. And Monty's, I guess, been practicing this specific puzzle. I don't know how you do that, but he's been in the
He
lab,
knows the pieces.
knows it.
But it made it seem like Jack was doing the same. Monty definitely had more time than Jack did, and it just wasn't enough. And what sucks for Jack is you know that he's in his head blaming the whole situation on, "Oh, if I could have just gotten that puzzle done faster." I
Yeah.
think he could have been sitting in a better position. The team really fucked him over. I don't think that there was anything that he could have done to get out of this one. And so at least he's gonna blame it on that puzzle.
Scott, before this challenge starts, we are aware that Jack is in possession of a player swap or a team swap. He can swap teams if he wanted to. Do you think that this was the move? Swap to the other team, and you got Stevie, you got Sam, some good challenge people on the other team. Do you just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to the other team?
Yeah, I think I mean, what is it, Monday morning quarterbacking?
Yeah, yeah.
I think obviously at this point, watching what happened, it's like, yeah, why didn't you do it? But it's
But
it's
I'm
such
just
a
Scott, I'm
crapshoot.
just saying, like from the perspective of you see the teams that you're on now. You're on a team with
Yeah,
three of the women,
I
and
think you
Alex is
should.
the captain. And Alex isn't voting one of them
That's
out.
that's half the votes. That and it's either you or Maddie. Let's be honest, Jack. They're coming your way. Use the power, man. Yeah, I don't even think it's Monday morning quarterbacking. I think that he should have used it. And I think that the second he didn't, he knew he had made the mistake. But again, he really did have so much confidence in that puzzle. And so I think that if he had just a little bit more time, he would have pulled it out. He was just, when you're in college and you're in a group project, sometimes sometimes your partners let you down. Sometimes you lost the A before it's your turn to talk about anything that you put any work into, and yeah, he just wasn't getting out of that based on his group.
Yeah, he was in a tough spot. He was in a tough spot. So we go to this strategy portion, and there's a couple things that happen. A lot of tears are shed. Is there anybody here specifically that you're like, you know what, you should have done something differently? And also, I don't know if you caught this, Scott, but when Jack and Lee were talking, and we saw some tears from Lee, and then I think we get a glimpse as Jack's leaving that Lee is potentially fake crying. Did you see this?
I did. Why? Come on, man. You're already doing the hinky votes. He's like really leaning into the villain role. I think like that's in we've collected that Lee is one of the biggest villains of the season. My favorite moment though was from our boy Reynolds when he like tried to look at the camera being like, "What's going on?" He almost got the look off without getting caught, but like they like looked at him so he didn't fully finish the look into the camera, but I thought that was so funny because I was with him. I was like, "What is happening?" And
Oh
then
my
another moment that
God.
I thought was so funny was Rose in the confessional talking about like this might seem like ridiculous, but sometimes your feelings catch up onto you. Just remember, like these are real people. And I felt like she was saying that directly to me. I'm thinking like, this is crazy. And then she says that, and I was like, oh, you're right. You're right. Calm down, Scott.
Yeah, oh my God. The Reynolds look at the camera. I thought he did it. I thought he got it off. I thought he got it
We
off.
didn't get caught, but he wanted to like give more, and then he had to like get back into the conversations that were being had.
Reynolds is a fun little character to on this. It's a nice he's kind of a change of pace compared to some of the emotional. I mean, we kind of talked about that before, the kind of game bots versus
Hmm.
some of the emotional players. The thinkers versus the feelers was what we were saying
Yeah.
that
He's
one
more of
week.
a, I think he's still a villain. He's like a subdued villain that's not so in your face. I mean, he's not fake crying. He's just looking at the camera and being like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like less of a performative villain and more of a like The Office. Like
Yeah, like
look
Jim
into the
Halpert.
camera,
Yeah.
like these are just real people. Yeah. I feel like he's like a little bit of the narrator of the viewers watching that are like,
What the fuck?
"Wha- Wait, we like Jack now? Like we're gonna stop about Jack? I thought that we just tried to vote him off last week."
Uh,
You could definitely tell as well just the passion of Jack is palpable.
yeah.
Another crash out, like, but he was coming at it with so much passion, more passion than crash out, but still a crash out, a
I think
spiral.
it was a spiral, but I think that he was set up so badly that the only option he had was to go after Maddie. And
Mhm.
his choice was to go after Antoinette. And I think that's immediately sealed I think he needed Antoinette to vote his way against
100%.
against Maddie. And he just sealed his fate immediately by going
I
for
think
her.
that Antoinette is such a quiet character that she seems like the easy vote, but she is locked in. She has relationships that people aren't seeing, and I think that people throwing her name out again seems like the move, but it's obviously not because I mean, she has Lee and Reynolds from that previous week. It seems like all the girls are, I mean, Molly and Antoinette seem pretty tight.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard that from either one of them, but I think that they're often off together, chit-chatting, and it just seems like they're not going to go after each other. And Alex is making such a push for the girls, so obviously if the three of them are there, it just the choice for Antoinette. Didn't he also was he the one that picked Antoinette previously? No, that was Sam. It didn't work that time. It didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
So they get stuck on this name was out, so let's just stick with it. I it wasn't the move to go after her. He definitely has a much, much, much better relationship with Maddie, and that's obviously why he didn't go after him. But
Maddie
I
had
think
no
he just
qualms
didn't have much
about
range.
going after Jack, though.
Unrequited love. He needed to go after Maddie, and I don't think that he saw that. Well, I think that that's part of Maddie's game too. Maddie is seemingly really good at making these relationships, and for him, he has so many relationships, and Jack doesn't have as many people locked in with him. So if he's thinking that Maddie is someone that is going to work with him, if he survives this round and Maddie is someone that's going to work with him, it's obviously setting him up better. But I think
You gotta get to that next round, though.
you gotta get to the next round, yeah. And
Yeah.
what's it was even tougher to watch. I feel like people were kind of pushing Jack toward the Maddie vote, and he was not going. He didn't make the turn.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like his route was obviously Alex was gonna vote for Maddie, just because Alex was kind of questioning
Mm.
why was the pendant not revealed to me? Now he can't use the pendant. Let's get him out now. And I think Jack's route was also Lee. Lee seemed to be down to do Maddie, and then you loop in Rose and Antoinette, and there you go. That's your five. You just need five.
You're out. You're good. You're set. Yeah, I mean, we don't know the dynamics that Jack was seeing, but
Yeah.
it seemed like the way to go.
My other thought is, what about Rose? Why is Rose off the table? You know?
Well, that was if he wasn't going after Maddie, he's not going after Rose. Rose was the one that was there for him the most. Immediately, he was like, "Whatever you need, we're in. We're good." And she was like, "Yeah, like if we move forward together, like we're locked in." So if he's Jack wasn't looking at it as I need to survive this round. He was looking at it as like, what? How can I get to the end with these people? Let me he wasn't in survival mode. He was trying to still set himself up and he needed to drop that. But yeah, I think that I feel like they might have well, I don't know. Rose was definitely the best option of the three girls that were available, but still Maddie.
Yeah. Yeah. We see Jack leave here. He leaves in I think it was 6-1 to 1.
Hmm.
Though, and Lee does not throw his vote this round. He actually votes out Jack in the majority, which is surprising to everybody, I know. But Alex votes for Maddie,
Maddie.
and then Jack votes for Antoinette, right? Yeah, that
Hmm.
was the count. And then there's an emotional exit. It had to get cut off. Apparently, it was 5 minutes long. I have
Oh,
news on the back end that it was 5 minutes long. But Jack, you said it was palpable. The emotion, just the fight. Jack was uh Jack was eligible to be voted every single round of the game the entire time. Kind of crazy he made it this far, right?
we've seen ups and downs too. Some rounds, we've seen him survive the rounds almost differently every time. Like something different was happening with Jack every episode, which is really interesting to think about because of this season being like, all right, if this name's out, we'll just target them again. And he was sometimes never really talked about at all. Sometimes his name was thrown out and then kind of forgotten. Sometimes it was like, it might be Jack. So we've seen a roller coaster from him, and he did make a promise that he's coming back in a buyback.
And it was announced that there is a buyback after this
Oh,
round.
was there?
Yeah, yeah. They dropped it. They dropped it in, I don't know where they dropped it, but they dropped it somewhere either in the Discord or on the Facebook that this
Oh.
week's episode, the first six eliminated players are going to be battling back, and there is another elimination this episode, so it's all in one.
Big episode coming. Well, we already know that Jack's coming back. He made a promise. He's
He
gonna
made a
do it.
promise. Um, with that being said, of these six, who do you think has the best shot? Do you think it's Jack?
Hmm. I mean, it depends on what the challenge is.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, I love an endurance. I feel like if it's endurance, let's see, maybe Marshawn. I mean, I think Jack's gonna want it the most. And I feel like it's so typical for the person that just got eliminated to just come right back in. So
You think so?
I just, doesn't that normally happen?
I mean, I feel like this only happens in Ascendance, but also like Big Brother, maybe they do it
Mhm.
once every couple seasons, maybe. Actually, I
Yeah,
don't
they
even think
don't,
that they don't do it that much.
no, not really. But yeah, I mean, Jack's gonna want it so bad, and we're gonna get more tears if he doesn't get it. So yeah, I think I'm leaning Jack.
No Ken?
Oh, I forgot about Ken. I was
What
actually
about
going through my head. I was like, who am I missing? I was like counting them off. Ken's gonna want it bad too.
what about Charlie? Charlie's gonna
I
want it.
think Charlie's gonna want it bad, but I don't know if Charlie's as good as the challenges. I feel like it might be Ken and Jack. Those are my front runners, I think.
Then like Charlie, Sedona, those two, and then Veronica maybe.
Yeah. There's just so many. It really depends on what the challenge is.
Yeah, you could get a really random one. You can get an endurance one. You can get a puzzle.
I love an
The
endurance. That's what I want. I want to see it. Shows who wants it the most.
exactly. Who are you rooting for the most, though, to come back to the game? Who do you think would bring the most entertaining TV?
I think, hmm,
A lot of people would bring a lot of different things, I think.
there's so many dynamics that each one of them would bring back. So Donna didn't really get a chance. So I feel like she comes back with some vengeance. I think that if Charlie comes back, he's going to bring some chaotic energy for sure.
Yeah.
So that could be interesting. I think Veronica Veronica could be really interesting to come back because this is her first game. You learn a lot after your first vote off. So I think if she comes back, she could take the lessons that she learned from that and really, I feel like in Ascendance, we've seen people come back that have lost and then really brought it their second season. If she can do that quick
Yeah.
turnaround, I think that we could see some big things from her. Ken has so much drama with the relationships that he left with, so if he comes in, he's gonna bring some energy that
You know who he's coming for.
oh, probably Maddie. And I think Marshawn could be interesting. I think Marshawn could especially be interesting because he sat back so much whenever he did get voted off, and that was so opposite of what we thought. So I think we can't really go wrong here.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what, whoever wins, what they bring because I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I am too. I think that drama, I think it's the drama, it's the shakeup that we need right now.
Yeah,
People are
it's been
sitting
a little bit
around
of yeah, it's been a little bit of the same kind
more of the
of
same.
crash
Yeah.
out, go home. I need somebody to come back in and bring the crash out back in, but do something different with it.
Yeah. And I think that we're gonna get that no matter what, because we gotta, you really can't go wrong with the choices that we have of the people that have been voted off to bring some of the chaotic energy. And what have they got to lose? They've already got voted off once. They're like, oh, let's be a little chaotic.
Let's continue. Um, what did you think of Jack's Jack tried to trade his power to Molly in the vote to get her to vote his way. What'd you think of that?
I think just throwing things at the wall.
Yeah.
It's,
Wrong
you
person.
wrong power.
Well,
If they're like, I need you to keep me in the game. Here's this power. And I'd be like, this power didn't do anything for you. So
he had the perfect situation to play it this round and he did not play it.
yeah, I think that I mean, good on him for trying. I don't necessarily think Molly would have been the wrong person. She seemed pretty in the middle of all the people. So if you get her on your side, I think things could have shifted. But again, Molly has not Molly has not had she hasn't really been in danger at all.
Yeah.
And so for her, she's playing such a big social game that the challenges don't matter as much. So whatever team she's on doesn't seem as important to her as
Yeah.
far as what I'm seeing here. So I think maybe wrong person for that reason, just because she's sitting socially in a really good spot.
Yeah.
I don't think she cares about the challenges as much as some other people would.
Right. And we're at round 6, so eventually the teams are going to be
Yeah, we're running out
no
of time for
longer.
that power.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, but yeah, he's throwing everything at the wall, so we gotta respect it. Respect trying, you know.
Yeah. You just go to everyone and just say, whoever wants this power, if you vote with me, I'll give it to you after the vote.
You hold your own auction.
Yeah. 20? Do I have 40? Yeah, I think that a first in Descendants. We usually don't have the auction in Ascendance, right?
I know, we gotta get it in there. We gotta get it in there. Um, Scott, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you think we need to shed some light on? Because we got this buyback coming up. I think we talked about, the potential of everybody coming back in the game, but during this episode, do you think anybody else, stood out? I mean, was there anybody else that we're missing here?
Not that we haven't already discussed it. This episode, while we saw all the emotions and
Mhm.
I mean, it was pretty obvious pretty early that Jack was kind of back against the wall. We didn't see, I mean, we saw so many people get so emotional, which is definitely a different side of all the people in the game, but we didn't really see much game progression,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. We've seen people target Jack. He's he's escaped the vote before. The game didn't really progress because of the options there were. Nothing that he said really moved anywhere. The people that voted him off seemingly have been working together a bit. Nothing new to say because we've seen emotional progression, not game progression.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
until we get a shakeup next week, I think that everyone's kind of still sitting in the same seats. I
And
guess
you're
maybe
saying
we could talk about Stevie because Stevie is still sitting pretty with his 6 wins in a row. And I mentioned it before, I think Sam and Stevie both could get a reprieve with the buyback. It gives them an opportunity to adjust their current positions
you think so? Why do you say that?
just because they need a shakeup. The game has just been whoever's on the outs is going, and I think that those two are on the outs still.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, do you think it's more so like those two specifically are on the outs? Everybody else is like say the same thing were to happen that happened this episode and Sam and Stevie were on a team that was safe. Who's in trouble now?
Well, I feel one of them has to win captain. I don't think that Sam and Stevie were both safe. Jack was obviously not safe. I don't think that it's an accident that the people that are on the outs are often on different teams.
Okay.
So I think next week, if there wasn't the buyback, I think we see Stevie and Sam on opposite teams. Stevie probably wins. We see Sam go.
Okay.
So that's why I think that this is giving them a little bit of a shakeup. If Ken comes back and he's like so aggressively targeting Maddie, then we might see Lee kind of lean into this because anyone that's coming back in the game, they're going to be able to be much more aggressive with their gameplay when previously I think a lot of people haven't been able to maneuver in ways because it was earlier in the game and now people are seeing where they want to make moves. We're starting to see it in the confessionals. Lee wants to take out Maddie. What can he do? Ken comes back in the game. He can get Ken to be the person that's spearheading that. I think that the people that have been sitting back, kind of waiting for something to happen, they can utilize this buyback to get that person to do something that they need them to do. And I
Yeah.
think that that saves Sammy and Stevie because those two need something to shake up.
Yeah. Because there's got to be a point in this game where it's like, these people have not had any, these people have not had any trouble at all at this point, and my name's been out there for 5, 6 rounds or whatnot. Um, let's shake things up and let's go for one of these
Hmm.
people that, hasn't had any trouble.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about so and so. Let's vote him out.
Yeah. The people whose names are coming up the least are the people you need to worry about the most.
I couldn't have said it better myself, man.
Yep.
God damn, we're good, man.
If only they were talking to us, then they would know.
All right,
Oh,
Scott. Well, shit, I think that's about it for episode 6. Really excited for the battle back next week. Well, I guess by the time you guys are seeing this week. And excited to talk about it with you.
yeah, I'm excited too. And happy Survivor start too.
Oh, here's an
Get
interesting
that.
debate. Before we close off, me and Scott were in this. Scott holds a fantasy survivor, draft or whatnot, and I posted a little something in the chat today, and apparently it was a spoiler. But how? Comment below. How long do you think you should wait before you could say anything about, a survivor episode? Is a full week? Is that is that good enough for spoilers?
I mean, it's established in the fantasy group chat, so we don't talk about the previous episode until the Wednesday of the following week.
Is that a rule in the
So
group?
you obviously didn't read it.
You
It's a
said
long
there was a you
sentence,
said there was a
but
TLDR.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I specifically say we don't talk about the episode until the recap has been posted.
I did say
Dude
that. I
just
did say
puts in the chat who got voted off first. And I'm like, dude, spoiler. It's
that. Okay.
fine.
Okay, so scrap that question.
We're
You don't
docking
have to
50
comment.
points off his final score.
That's totally on me. I did not read the the full instructions. So never mind. But let's close out here, Scott. This was fun, a fun recap. And yeah, appreciate you coming back on, man.
Drop a comment in the chat below on who you want to win the buyback before the episode airs.
Yeah, who are you rooting for? Put it in the comments.